Alrighty, it's time for second attempt, and let's see what we have here. Again, we have mini dominoes. Our goal is to topple the H, and we have a different ball now with a little bit thicker honey, so it will take about half an hour for it to roll down the ramp. My goal is to make a Mazewall, up wall and down wall, and let's hope it doesn't fail this time. I also tried aligning the black parts of this ramp so that it will not stop the ball from rolling. And let's see how far I get. If you watched the last thing I published, you would have noticed that I mentioned Murphy's Law. And that law is anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And that is definitely what happened last time. Let's hope this does not happen today, though. If I haven't mentioned it, I found where I did a single test for the up wall and I made a slight tweak to it. So hopefully that part won't fail. And astonishingly, the down wall did work. It didn't work in a test run that I did not complete. So still anything can happen. Oh. Okay. One problem I have with mini dominoes is that they are very light. And the problem with my hands is that they are not dry hands. They get very clammy. So my hands are actually slightly sticky to the dominoes, and they don't want to let go when I place them down. So the workaround I have to do is to hold them by the edges, which can be very difficult at times. And as you might be able to tell, I'm starting to, I'm really low on ideas for future tricks to invent or develop. Though I do have at least one idea already from I believe Nikki's Dominoes. Hi Nikki, nice shout out to you. Shout out is not a word. A shout out is, I think. His idea was to make an up wall, which is not an up wall, it's actually like a rectangular tube where you spiral upwards like a staircase. And at first I thought he meant make an up wall that spirals, but he meant something that's literally like a spiral staircase. I could try that. Okay, I'm in a tough position here. One of the pieces is not aligned very well, the up-wall mechanism right there. So I'm going to have to figure out what to do. If you guys have any ideas for tricks, no matter how crazy they sound, it might be possible. So be sure to put it down in the comments so I can get a new tutorial out soon. And by soon, I mean at some time in the future. Because I have no idea how soon I could come up with something or make it work. Oh no, please don't tell me it stopped again. There you go, very good. Well, not completely very good because that means I just lost some time. staring at the ball. The cool thing is these mini dominoes scale pretty well. And by scale I mean stuff that you could do with large dominoes, you can do with mini dominoes. So if you're trying to come up with a trick, you don't have to work with the fiddliness of mini dominoes. You could work with large dominoes first. Of course, the ratios between the different edge lengths of the dominoes, or the mini ones in particular, are different to that of regular dominoes. These are exactly 1 by 3 by 6. Here's where I can lose everything. I'm going to try to make another down wall mechanism on the left. And it's mandatory that you have a very stable hand. If this neon green domino falls over, I'll have to start from scratch, and I don't have any extra time. I spent all of it staring at the ball earlier. Okay, thank you. Wow, my neck is getting sore. Now, as before, I'm switching to clear blue dominoes because I'm out of clears. Now, I wish I would play with mini dominoes much more frequently, but they are just small enough that they turn dominoes into a rage game. You thought regular sized dominoes was difficult? Well, this is the worst. But I love a challenge. Oh my gosh, are you still recording? Still recording. Last time, my camera cut off at 20 minutes 50 seconds. Which was terrible. No wait, not 20. 29 minutes 50 seconds. Which was terrible because that might have meant that I cheated and I might have added more dominoes off camera. However, if you checked, I did not add any extra dominoes, and in fact the ball moved more. So that was a terrible time crunch there. Okay, let's hope I can do this in one take. Now, one thing I can't fix is that the camera will automatically stop recording after half an hour. So I'm trying to think of a fix right now, and I think the only thing I can do is to finish this before the camera stops recording, show that the ball is still rolling, and almost immediately press the record button again so that almost no time has passed. However, if you are a computer, a few hundred milliseconds is already a long time, so I'm not sure if you'll count this, but that would be the best that I could do. Okay. Okay, let's... When you're making a builder's challenge, there are a few no-nos that you should never ever do. Otherwise, it basically invalidates your challenge. And that's one of them. Okay, let's pretend that did not happen. I'm missing a color. Oh. I was going to mention one of them is to not topple the last of your Builder's Challenge prematurely. And apparently now part of the Builder's Challenge is to rebuild the last part of the Builder's Challenge. When I said that H, I meant the H made from those dominoes. And it's still an H made by those dominoes, so I guess they count, right? Right? No? No? Oh well, I'll continue. Okay. Home stretch, where anything can happen. Some people might think doing the same thing over and over again gets boring. That could be so. However, whenever you do something new, it's always fascinating, satisfying, and many other feelings when you get it working. For example, it was very satisfying to get the down wall working, because I've seen years and years ago, before I have even had one single professional domino, I've seen people making down walls using two different kinds of dominoes. When I tried using the same type for both the frame and the inner dominoes, you would see that the inner dominoes would actually knock the outer frame and cause the whole thing to collapse prematurely, which is not the point of an up wall. So there were people that made frames out of wood as well. In fact, I believe Domino Dan has one and had a contest involving it. Those are awesome for display, but I mean, I love being able to make things out of a single object or multiple shapes. Okay, that's still going. One question, why is there a slow flow of domino videos? I thought to myself that it's probably because we only have time on the weekends. But now I'm thinking maybe people are running out of ideas. Maybe they're going on vacation. Or maybe they have final exams coming up way too soon. when I sped up the previous attempt at this, I noticed that the ball slowed down at the final stages. And when I say slow down, I mean slow down, literally. I mean, it's slow already, but it's slowed down even more when it reached the last part of the ramp, which is surprising. Given that the ball is already going half the speed as it was going before. Okay, I have no clue when this ran out, when this stopped recording. That's terrible. But you might have noticed that the ball actually continued rolling. Hopefully it was not quiet for, or hopefully it did not stop recording for too long. As the camera only made this sound when I pressed record, but not when it suddenly stopped. Well, I just realized tomorrow is my birthday. So one thing I am going to consider is purchasing either more dominoes or a better camera. One with higher quality and doesn't die out on me at the last moment when I'm trying to record. And that will cost a bit. So, what do you think? Put down in the comments if you think I should buy more dominoes for reviewing or another camera. Okay, so with an extra minute or two to spare, I am going to double check my work so that it doesn't jam up like it did last time. You know, in homework assignments, they tell you to double check your homework, double check your assignment, double check your questions, and your calculations. One thing you really do want to check up on is your dominoes, because if you make a mistake and you actually need to redo it, or there's something slightly off, and it's much more difficult to correct. In fact, you have to redo the whole thing. But whether you win or fail, you still want to make sure you double check everything. And test everything beforehand as well. Make sure you always learn something new. Okay. I still have 1 or 2 minutes to go, or a few seconds. So let's take a quick look at what this is. have a really slow rolling ball leading up to a rally, which goes to an up wall and down wall, which leads to another rally that goes up the stairs to destroy an H. So let's see if this works. And of course, thank you for watching. That is kind of funny, I think. The fail is right at the H. Whether or not you counted that or not, thanks for watching.